Sports.
A lot of people don't answer these days just because.
Yeah, like you.
Or like scam likely.
Yeah.
So I had to turn that on because I was getting so many calls like scam likely.
Yeah.
I get at least 50 missed calls a day.
Damn.
Maybe it's my fault because I used to answer them and I used to
Yeah.
fuck
That's
with them.
definitely your fault. bro.
I
I'm not
would
gonna
get on there and I'd be like, yeah, well, let me check. And I just go on there and then hang on for 30 minutes and I'm going to be like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Just-
Or do you ever do like those sweepstakes, like those contests? You put your phone number on it.
Mhm. There you go. They sell your
No.
info right there.
Yeah.
That's where they sell your info.
There was one where I actually put my real number on it. I think it was like playoff tickets.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it? That's what it is?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's
Scam
why they
likely?
ask you to sign up for sign up for a chance to win like $50,000 or like win this couple tickets. They sell your info.
Didn't Chris win a cruise?
Did he?
Yeah, he said he won. So our buddy Chris, he won a few months ago. He just got married, and I think they were gonna go on a cruise. We gotta ask him about it. But they said, hey, all you gotta do is bring $200 or pay $200 over the phone.
mm.
And Chris is like, he's not the type to get scammed, you know.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
So but I guess he searched it up and everything, and he said, man, it looked legit. Like it looks very legit. So I think he paid $200
No
for
way.
a 7-day cruise trip, something like
I
that.
Did he
think
go?
I do remember him talking about.
Well,
it.
no, he hasn't gone.
Oh, okay.
Now that we
No
bring
wonder.
it up,
But
yeah.
but his wife just got pregnant, 6 months pregnant.
Yeah.
I remember him telling me like, hey, if it's a scam, at least I only lost $200.
only.
Yeah, but can you imagine how many people have paid $200? So like 400 people, and each of them has paid $200.
Jeez.
I'm not gonna do the math, but
Yeah.
I know Chris, and I feel like Chris it's better at catching those type of stuff than even I am.
yeah,
Not to say that I'm the best, but I'm like, if Chris can do his feature and figure out that looks legit, then I feel I would have put.
That's true.
I would have said, give me my $200 too. Like, go ahead, sign me up. But they got it because they put in the information on one of
Yeah.
those ballots and they called him.
yeah, or like the cars that are in the mall, or
Yeah.
like the jet skis.
I don't know. I wish should we call him? Nah, leave
Nah.
him at rest. He's at home
No,
resting.
you should call him and say, "All right, we're ready to give you those tickets to the cruise. You ready to leave? You got to leave tomorrow."
That'll be a
Cruz,
good bit.
Chris, that 7-day trip's coming up. Have your bags packed?
You get scammed.
But hey,
I just want to know.
I am curious now. But no, so Tristan, it's good seeing you, buddy.
Yeah, you too,
It's
man.
been, well, we were talking earlier, what, 4 years?
I think 4 years.
Since the last time we talked. And we still, it's crazy how social media keeps us connected,
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's so far away. Because I've seen you post and everything, and
yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's Tristan. I guess it doesn't make me realize, like, bro, it's been
It's
4
been so long,
years
man.
since we have a solid conversation.
Yeah.
And so tell us about you, man. So what do you do? I know from what I know, you're a sound engineer, and
Yeah.
curious to poke your brain.
Yeah, so I've been doing live audio since about 2015, late 2015, mostly with churches, but then I got started doing like wedding band stuff in the
Yeah.
DFW area. Sometimes we'll do like Austin, San Antonio, stuff like that. But mostly here in the Dallas area. So that's just been something that so to rewind, I got out of the military in 2015 and came back home. So I was in Okinawa before that, Okinawa, Japan. And so I came back home and kind of needed to do something with my life.
He said, instead of wiring bombs, I'm going to wire cables for audio.
Hey, you know?
He said- no, he was in here. Yeah, he walked in and then he's like, oh, this is not the right headphones. And I'm like, bro, I YouTube my way through this.
Look, man, you got these ears are how I make my money. You got to treat them.
No, dude, that's one thing that I realized. I think I got a lot of respect for. It's the sound engineer. Like, there's a lot to it, man. Like, I used to just think, hey, just hook up your guitar, play and everything, and no, there's apparently laws to this, and it's, if you don't follow them, it's not gonna sound as it should. And we've had a lot of discussions, to be honest, like for real, like, hey, turn your amp down, you're too loud. I'm like, I can't even hear myself.
That's
And
the best
then-
one is the amp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the biggest one probably.
But I would say, like, for me on my end, one thing that on my side is just knowing, like, you've spent a lot of time dialing in your settings to get your tone just right.
Yeah.
And so you're by yourself at your house, so you get everything just right. But once you get to the stage, now you're adding like a bass or a bass amp, and then you have the keys, and then stage wedges, and then the house speakers. So all that stuff kind of just goes into play, and like every musician is always kind of focused about their specific piece.
We're all selfish. I get up there and I'm like, my tone, bro. Like, why doesn't it sound as it should?
He's like, fuck your tone. What about this guy?
He's like, fuck tone. We gotta get the band, bro. The band. Nah, dude. Like, I spent $1,000 on this pedal. We're gonna make it sound right.
$4,000 amp. I don't care. Leave it in your car. I don't know.
Dude, so yeah, because I love my amp, my Fender amp. But Tristan's here's like, nah, you gotta go direct it into a speaker. I'm like, just
oh no,
we'll put some foam around it. Just leave it at 2.
But
just to make you feel
it
special.
was good times. So you're still doing it now? Sound?
I still do it from time to time for bands and stuff. But I'm not a young.
You were
guy
with Aaron
anymore.
Watson at one point, right?
Yeah. So during COVID, obviously COVID happened. It shut down the live entertainment industry among many other industries. And so it was a weird time for me because I was living with family at the time, and my main source of income was just like working on the weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I'm gonna have that party schedule.
And then doing church on Sunday, and then so COVID hit, shut everything down. I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna do? Well, the federal government stepped in and said, hey, if you're an independent contractor, we'll give you some money to live off of.
Oh, you finessed there?
Yeah,
Got
right
so I did. I applied for the SBA loan.
No.
And
you're going to have Uncle Sam knock on your door after this.
Dude, hey, you got to find me. So I did that, and that kind of held me over. And in the middle of COVID, I moved into a house with one of my buddies. I think you know him. His name is Robert.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out. And so we moved in together, and he was able to work from home doing like graphics and media and stuff like that. And then I was just kind of there. And a few months,
because
there was nothing,
no shows or anything.
No
right?
shows.
So
it's
crazy.
But I got a phone call from one of my buddies who lives out in Abilene. He owns his own production company, and he's like, hey, I have this opportunity for you. I know you're probably not doing much, but I have this artist. And he's like, he's done with this lockdown. He's ready to get out there and start doing stuff. And I was like, well, to be honest with you, I've never done anything at that level before. I've only done like band stuff at bars and churches.
For those who don't know, like the Aaron Watson, it's the song with the Run Wild Horses one, right?
Yeah.
So it's
yeah. That's one of his most popular songs.
Man, I'm not gonna play it.
What genre is it?
It's country.
Oh, country. Okay.
Right here. I don't want to play too much because then
you get a copyrighted.
Copyright.
I'll call him. I'll just call him and be like, hey.
So he was doing sound for these guys are. That song's very well known.
Yeah.
That's a banger right there.
Yeah. So. But he was like, hey, I'm done with this stuff. I'm ready to do shows again. So I started off as a monitor engineer, and went out on the road. And so we were touring.
So you were on the road with him.
We were on a tour bus. Yeah, we were on a tour bus going everywhere. Colorado, Wyoming.
Jeez, man.
All over Texas.
And we were driving around fucking bitches and getting money.
Hey, so... but yeah, so like, and it was so weird because I think, at least in Texas anyway, we were probably one of the first groups to go into these venues that were like, oh, we're nervous about opening up, but let's give it a shot. And it's so weird going into a venue and seeing like the whole front, like stage area is just empty. And like nobody's allowed to dance.
That's
and
awkward.
Like,
I can't see any tits.
Yeah.
Like these huge tables and only 4 people are sitting at them. Like, so it was crazy.
It was some wild times, man. They said, hey, if you sit 6 feet away from me, I won't catch it. So we go.
Yeah, like we're social distancing right now, so I'm not gonna get sick. But like that's just a weird concept to like bring live entertainment back, but keep it in a way that's like, if I were an attendee, I would be like, what is the point of this? I can't like leave my chair.
I'm not gonna lie though. I feel like if you were one of those people who did get to attend those shows, I mean, you got no one around you. You got space,
Yeah.
and you're right there. It's probably a sick.
Honestly, I think that would be nice now that I'm a little older.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I wouldn't feel as crowded. I feel like
Yeah.
they would be like playing just to me.
Yeah,
Not
and like
anybody
going to the
else.
movies, like now if I go to the movies, I'm just gonna
Mhm.
buy the ticket for the seat next to me on both sides, so that way I have the whole
Exactly.
section to myself. But like
Yeah.
before then, it was mandated, and so it spoiled us, I
Yeah.
think, in a lot of ways, and
Yeah.
made us grateful for the live entertainment that we do get to have.
Yeah.
And now we're back to normal, like nothing ever happened with Taylor Swift and
Oh man.
all this craziness.
Honestly, it felt crappy just because the government was telling us to do that. So I
Yeah.
think that was the issue. But
Yeah.
now that we think about it, now that I think about it, I think it would have been great. I think it was great.
Do you think you guys opened up the door for other bands to start
Absolutely,
performing?
1000%.
You saw it.
Taylor Swift is touring now because of Aaron Watson.
No,
Absolutely.
wait. Why do you say that?
He's just being sarcastic,
Oh,
but
okay.
he's like, wait
No,
a
because
minute.
I don't know anything about him. I don't know
Make
anything
that
about
make
him.
sense for me. No. But no, back to Aaron Watson, like his popularity is something that
Mhm.
I've never been exposed to. I've never worked with an artist at that level before, and over in Europe and in Switzerland, like those
Mhm.
people love this guy, and
Really?
they'll
In
spend,
Europe?
That was my
Yeah.
next question. Do they listen to country in Europe?
They do, and it is
Dang.
they love it. They will eat that up,
Wow.
and it's but for them. It's for us, it's something that we're just used to.
Yeah.
We're complacent about it, right? We have a million different varieties of music, but in Europe, like I feel like sometimes stuff coming from our end is like delayed, so their exposure to country music is new-ish for them,
Huh.
and they just
I would
love
not
it.
expect
they just
that.
they love the mess out
Mm-mm.
of it.
Hey, Johnny, have you seen the new country song from Aaron Watson?
Oh,
What
do
kind
they
of accent?
make?
I don't
country-
even know. I was trying to do a British one, and I lost
British,
track halfway.
Japanese.
Do they make any country music over there? Like, do they try? Have you heard?
I don't know. I
Some
don't know
British
of any
country music?
British
Yeah,
country artists.
It'd be kind of weird.
Have you?
Like-
Well, do you think they carry their tone, their accent when they sing?
No, I think so.
Because Adele, she has a British accent, right?
Yeah, so she's from England,
Yeah.
and she's got the accent when she talks, but when she sings, it's kind of not there.
It's American. No, I'm kidding. It's
Yeah.
English.
the right accent, the proper
It's
accent.
the pro-
But like for example, Keith Urban, right? When I started listening to country music, he was one of the more popular artists. This was back in the early 2000s,
Yeah.
and Keith Urban, I did not know he was from Australia.
what?
Oh.
Straight up Australian. And so when he talks, he's like Kangaroo Jack, Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
But when he's singing, you think he's like some dude from Nashville.
I did
But
not know that.
Australia is
crazy.
Till right now, when you mentioned that, it's
Yeah.
Australia.
I thought he was American.
Mm-mm.
Keith Urban.
Mhm.
But Australia makes sense though, because the outback. But England.
I mean, I can see that, but I'm just kind of mind blown right now. I was trying to think, comprehend. I would think you'd hear his accent in his music.
Every now and then you can pick it up on a phrase or something like that. But if you're
Mhm.
not paying attention, if you just have it on the background or whatever, it's just like any other country artist.
Dang. Do you miss touring with Aaron Watson, or how come did you stop voluntarily, or did your show stop just touring, or?
No, they're still touring now. I kind of phased out because I said this earlier, but I spent some time in the military, and unfortunately, my body just doesn't do what I want it to do sometimes. So it's kind of hard.
It's
At
3 a.m. packing
times.
up gear, like
Pushing cases, and sometimes those
Aaron's
cases,
like, Tristan, one more show tomorrow, buddy. 6 a.m.
"Oh,
sharp.
We can't pull the bus off without this case. So no, but
Chop
like,
chop, buddy.
do these cases weigh like more than me, more than all three of us put together. But no. So I mean, it's just the lifestyle. It just wasn't for me anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of mind blowing how everything gets put together. Like, I went to the Bad Bunny concert, and I saw how they had everything, said, I just thought about you guys. But the next day was the Mavericks game, the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So, they set that up, they tear it down, put the court. And then after that was another Bad Bunny concert.
Yeah.
And I'm sure as a tech guy, you'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I guess maybe once you have systematically down, you kind of know where everything goes. But
yeah, but
do those guys sleep, or is it a full all-nighter?
No. So, I mean, if you think about it, well, a tour of that level, so like Taylor Swift, Beyonce, all those arena headliner tours.
Yeah.
What they do is a lot of them have multiple sets. So Taylor Swift is actually on stage in Dallas, and in, I don't know, Los Angeles or Phoenix, they're setting up a stage for her. So,
and that makes sense, but I mean, this here, the Dallas one is like overnight. Just put it on together. Like, I don't think that anybody slept, because there was a lot that went into it. I mean, the lights, he was riding a horse on the stage, and I'm just like, and then the next day you see Luka shooting threes. It was against the Clippers, so it's like we were still playing.
Well, look, we can't. We're bitter about that now.
But yeah, so what do you spend your time doing now, almost?
So now I have a full-time job. I'm working at a church. Surprise. So I'm working at a church doing AV tech stuff, video editing, their Sunday services.
Not many people realize how much of that goes into churches. That's what Chris calls it. It's a concert for him. He's like, I can't go to the church because
those are
I'll start fist pumping. But there's a lot that goes into it. Like you said, AV, sound, lighting. What's your primary focus right now?
Right now I'm just editing, doing a lot of video editing. So I just started there Thursday of last week. So
it's recent.
So I'm just getting my feet wet there. But basically, so this church, they're involved very heavily in their community. The church has been around since 1873. So they are very well embedded in the local area.
You're gonna pull up and see like a Confederate flag.
Come and take it.
It's a Bible.
But yeah, so they have like classrooms and conference rooms, and so any AV, so like Pastor Bob wants to give a presentation on finances to some of the church members. Oh, he doesn't know how to hook up his laptop to the projector. Here's Tristan.
He's going to take 45 minutes hooking up an HDMI. Like, yeah, so it's just next time just comment,
It's a TRS. It's TRSS.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing some of that and video editing. So, obviously this church has been around a while, and they recorded their services from, I don't know, I guess since the very first camcorder, who knows.
Dang.
But like they still have VHS video tapes. So there's another guy there, and so small part of what we're doing is taking those old recordings and digitizing them, so that way there's a record.
When you digitize them, do you have to watch the whole clip, or does it do it in a matter of minutes?
Well,
do you have to wait a certain amount of time that the time is recording?
I see what you're saying. So I don't know, because I'm not doing the VHS stuff.
That kind of low-key suck, man. It's like, hey, we have 200 VH. They're about 2 hours each.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
go through them.
So no, but I just I'm just doing the digital stuff. So the videos that have been recorded from the live stream, starting with a couple years ago. So. But yeah, so the good thing about that, though, even if you have to do the video cassette one, is this is a church that their services are pretty standardized every single time. So they do
not many moving parts of like
no. They do this one thing at the beginning every single time. They do this one thing at the end every single time. They do this one thing in the middle every single time.
Hey, if it's not broken, don't fix it, right?
I mean, I didn't know churches did all that. That's crazy.
It ranges, man. I've seen some churches go, some just do like the minimum or whatever gets you, people going. Other ones go all about having, flying dancers. There was what was that? Have you seen that one where they had
they got zip lines?
Yeah, zip lines. But there was a pastor conference, and he had brought a male stripper.
No way.
I swear. I swear. And then another pastor comes up and condemns the pastor for doing that, and he kicks him out.
Was it like a skit or?
No, it was legit. It was legit. I gotta find the name of it, but yeah. So basically, it was like a pastor conference, leadership conference, which we see those all the time. But I guess the pastor who was hosting it decided in one of the events to have like a male stripper, and it wasn't titled as a male stripper, but it was a guy dancing on a pole, shirtless. You know, and
so he didn't get like all the way.
Yeah. I guess he's just showing like, as an art, just dancing.
Yeah.
But it's clearly like, is it the right type of event you want to have? Or performance at this event. And the next pastor up, he kind of just condemns, and he's like, hey, we're doing this for God and whatnot, and we should not be doing this, and I'm ashamed of what's going on. And the other pastor comes in, I guess he kicks him out. It was crazy. It was a huge event.
I'd never heard anything about that.
Wow. I thought you'd be the
look, I'm not like a pastor's kid or anything like that. I'm not like
I gotta find it.
Church's business, but no, I mean it's churches have a unique place in society, and I think there's a lot of pressure on churches to be faultless and perfect, and a lot of people will hold them to that standard because, that's how can you be a place where you're supposed to be teaching people how to be, but then be people like that?
Yeah,
have strippers there. So
yeah, it was exploding all over TikTok, and I found it here. Let's see if a clip it'll play.
The Jezebel spirit opened our event.
Scripture. Finally, a pastor that's willing to stand for truth.
The Jezebel spirit opened our event. This is a rebuke and a correction of no one. This is an observation.
So that's the pastor calling it out after
it was open. There was a platform. It was a high place. On it was a pole.
So he just kind of, goes down. And it's, I got to give it to that pastor, man. It's something, you're talking in front of thousands of people, and you're going to go off script and, tell the guy who's hosting it, like, hey, shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Props to that guy. That was crazy. But crazy times,
Yeah. Yeah. I think pastors are harder on each other than most other people because,
I think about that a lot because you look at a pastor, and it's someone that you want to go to for guidance, or when you need or some help or whatnot. And I always wonder, like, who do they go to? They go to God and pray, but it's like a counselor or a therapist. Like, who do they go to?
Yeah.
Like, is there ever an end to it?
Well, from what I understand, pastors have their own pastors, right?
Yeah.
So, it's got to start.
So who does that one go to?
So he goes to another one. But I've also heard pastors talk about, like therapists and counselors that specialize in helping pastors. Because I think one of the, obviously I'm not a pastor, so I can't, I'm not speaking from personal experience, but I think as a pastor, a lot of times what you might get caught up in is an overinflated sense of importance. All of these people are coming to me with their problems. I'm solving their problems. I'm helping them solve their problems. And then, now I have a problem. And so then maybe some guilt or maybe some shame sets in. So, but it's good to know that there are those counselors out there that kind of, like I said, specialize in that and kind of help bring them back down and say, hey, like, you're not supposed to fix everybody's problems.
Yeah.
Because that's what God is for. That's what Jesus is for. So, just kind of reminding them why they started doing that in the first place. But
it would be a good, that's a strong twist to it because they're almost like therapists in a way. And I think not living with that guilt, like let's say you just, somebody comes to you for advice and, hey, you should do this. And let's say it totally goes wrong. It causes something horrible. I'd feel like crap.
Giving the wrong advice.
Yeah. Like, should I divorce my wife? Yes. And then they get divorced and then the wife keys the car or something, right? Like, whatever. But
or it could be the opposite. They could say, hey, should we get a divorce or whatnot? And they say, no, work it through, blah. 2 days later, he just beats her up. The husband, like, yeah.
So who do you think the Pope goes to for advice?
Whoo, the devil.
Because he's up there.
No. Where's one of those buttons with the noises?
Damn. I think it works the same way, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think they have their own council, and within them, and then they have other wisdom. And I think you can have other wisdom by reading, seeing other people's experiences. It's never just a voice to, mouth to mouth type conversation. But just I feel like in general, those type of positions are very undervalued. Like therapists, those guys, or it's like, so therapists is the one that work for mental. They work with you like. Because what's the difference between a therapist and a psychiatrist?
So a psychiatrist will, from what I understand, a psychiatrist will help manage your problems, whatever you want to call them.
So
with medication.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, is this medicine working for you? How's it making you feel? Let's maybe adjust the dosage. Whereas a therapist or a psychologist is just kind of more interested in like the behavioral part of it and lifestyle changes and just kind of talking it out. And, well, why do you think that? And what makes you think that? And what did that make you feel? Whereas, like I said, a psychiatrist is like, oh, you're stressed out. What medicine will help with that?
Okay, so that's what happened to me, because I know I've talked about it on the podcast before, but at one point I was dealing with like pretty bad panic attacks.
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
Yeah.
And I just went to my general doctor, and he prescribed me to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to go in there and sit down and just talk it out.
Yeah.
Well, that appointment was like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
And then he's like, when do you get on? I'm like, just kind of randomly. He's like, why do you freak out? Maybe that's probably the only question where it was like kind of like my emotion, where he asked me, why do I freak out? And I couldn't answer it. Yeah. And he's like, all right, we're going to start off with Xanax.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I never took it, because he told me, only take it when you're having panic attacks. But then I was like, what if one day I don't have it with me and I'm having a panic attack? It's going to be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a therapist will be the one to tell you, okay, if you start feeling this way, these are some things you can do to help with that. So, I'm not telling you what you should do, but if you want to go see a therapist,
you should probably get that resolved.
You got some trauma, PTSD.
Do you think so? People always talk about like trauma that's been, or how do you say trauma's undealt trauma? Maybe when it happened when it was a kid. Do you have an idea of how that works? Like, I've seen there's a myth. I don't even think it's a myth, but a baby seeing some type of action or something violent. Does that just store in the brain, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's different, I think it all depends on how you're raised. Like, if you're kind of exposed to that stuff constantly, you just kind of get used to it and desensitized to it. But, let's say you grow up in one of those huggy-feely, super loving, affectionate homes, and you witness somebody get murdered. Of course, that's going to have a bigger impact on someone than, let's say, a kid who's raised in like the inner city and they're witnessing violence all the time. So yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on what you grow up around and kind of the support system that you have.
I feel like now in times with like social media, we're getting so easily desensitized. How do you say it?
Desensitized.
Yeah, because like I don't know if you guys have Twitter or I have X, whatever it is. There's some crazy stuff on there.
Yeah.
Where at the point where I'm looking at it, I'm just like, it's just another guy. Like, I saw some guy get stampeded by an elephant, like literally folded in half and squished. Did you see that?
I've seen that one, yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, let me watch it again.
Yeah. No, I'm so like cynical about that stuff. I'm like, well, why are you around an elephant? Like, what are you doing? What business do you have?
I think he was trying to maneuver it and turn it, and I think he was whipping it, and he just kind of fucked around and found out.
Yeah.
But he got him good. And elephants are apparently very, very smart.
Mm-hmm.
So they remember, or they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Did you ever hear the story about the one elephant that came, that attacked the lady?
No.
Because so I think the story is there was an elephant. There was a lady who killed a baby elephant. And then the lady just went on her way. And then that elephant tracked her hundreds of miles and went to go kill her and got her.
That is crazy.
Okay. And then they had a funeral for her. And the elephant came back again.
No.
Bro, I swear. I search it up. Search it up. Elephant pulls up at a funeral. I'm dead serious, man. I remember I was like, this is so fake. This is a little clickbait here. And maybe I got fooled, but yeah.
Elephant kills woman and returns to her funeral to attack her corpse. Stop.
Tell me that's not crazy.
Man.
Okay, I'm just going to...
Go ahead. Yeah. But And I kind of skimmed through it. I didn't want to read the whole article. I should have just copied and pasted and put it in Chat GPT and
An elephant getting revenge. That's
like,
crazy.
summarize this for me.
All right. So summary: a 68-year-old woman was trampled to death by an elephant that then returned for a second attack at her funeral.
Damn, no way.
No,
Bro, these elephants know what they're doing.
that's
They
wild.
they
That's
know.
wild. Well, so it's funny that you say that. So, like, I have a 5-year-old, and one of the things that we like to do is watch those nature documentaries on the Disney Plus app. And we watched one on elephants, and the way they survive through the summer is by going somewhere else, and that path, that journey of hundreds and thousands of miles is passed down from like the mom leader, the matriarch, down to like her daughter. So like when she dies,
The
Oh,
daughter knows.
so it's basically like, we're going to go this way because this is the way my mom showed me.
Yeah.
And it just follows and follows and follows. And so these elephants can remember how to get to the next watering hole because their mom showed it to them years ago.
How long do elephants live? Do you know? I'm asking all these
Dude, I
questions
don't
like you're.
Yeah, you know, like, I know a lot of things,
Yeah,
but you know,
it's-
hey, sometimes I know, sometimes I don't. Look, I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to say...
I want to say like 85 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say that 80
Could
to
be like
100 something
12.
years.
I mean, they're such huge animals where I feel like they expect to be like.
I mean, I think the oldest one in India, I think they have that huge giant one. I think it's like 112 years old or something that they said. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like walking
I
to like a
haven't.
big like mansion door, and it's like a couple like I don't know 20 foot or something. I don't know.
I gotta check it out.
Unless it
What-
was
what-
CGI.
what do you see?
So what I'm seeing here on the interwebs, it looks like the average age of an elephant is about 65.
Okay.
And
a little off.
one of the oldest ones in Taiwan died at the age of 86.
Oh, I was way off.
That's currently registered as the world's oldest elephant.
That's not that old, to be honest.
No, it's about our kind of around our.
Yeah.
Human range.
Yeah.
Is our life expectancy? It's getting longer. I'm thinking with all the
I
medication.
think overall,
Mhm.
yeah.
Is that good for us? What's your opinion on that?
I don't think so.
You think
no.
we should just die when we need
I think
to
so.
die?
I think so because, like, okay, this is my hot take.
Go ahead.
People who have allergies or like asthma, if we were back in like caveman days,
You die.
you'd be dead.
Yeah.
And like that's just the unfortunate reality is like that's how you pass on the strongest genetics is the weak ones go away and the strong ones keep going. So
I mean, it sneezes.
So
Well,
maybe
buddy?
maybe allergies weren't even around back then at that point cuz right like all they would all die off.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would go that extreme. Like,
Yeah.
oh, here's some pollen, I'm gonna die. But yeah. I mean, so I just joke around with people who have allergies. I say, oh,
You'd be dead.
like no, I literally say
You say you should be dead.
that is nature's way of saying you should not be alive right now.
Yeah.
Well, I developed allergies like 2 years ago. I've never had allergies my entire life.
Wait, when did you get back from Colorado?
Same.
About 2 years ago, actually. Yeah, could that be?
So I think there might be something to that because I don't remember ever struggling with allergies, and then I spent about 6 years in California where like the weather's basically perfect, and then once I came back to Texas, allergies.
Got slapped with it. Yeah,
Horrible.
I remember. Like I used to mock because my dad gets them bad, and I used to tell my dad, I'm like, couldn't be me. So I used to mock him. I'm like, yeah, I've never gotten allergies, and I used to tell people like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then one day I just felt like, I just didn't feel right. And I was like, all coughed up and clogged up. And I was like, oh my God. And I think it was around COVID. So yeah, I thought I was going to die.
Maybe you had COVID.
And then, no, I went to the doctor and everything. And they said, yeah, it's kind of pat my back. Like, it's just allergies, buddy. Go ahead, go to your Walgreens and get a little spray. Sure enough, get the little spray in your nose. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. But I guess that what they say, men are more babies, or when it comes to like illness.
Yeah.
But I think actually I don't want to say it, but I've been good so far with allergies. We'll see.
Well, it's the summer. I mean, summer people rare.
Is it in spring that's
rare.
bad or?
So I mean, I think it's different for everybody. I think for me though, I mostly get them between October and January.
Shit.
And like it never fails every year.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime between October and January, I'm like on my deathbed at least twice. And the sickness, I mean, I agree with you. It does hit men.
Bro, the allergies hit me harder than COVID did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this year they hit me around April. I hope it was allergies, but yeah, I started getting them around 2 years ago now too.
Dude, I still went to that concert though, but
yeah.
Hey, those tickets
Spread it.
They're expensive.
no, I remember I got COVID and then just all for me was I just couldn't taste anything.
Yeah.
But when I got those allergies, I was like, I think it even gave me a fever. I think that's what threw me off.
Yeah. Sometimes you get.
I thought allergies was just like little wheezing,
Little sneezing,
sneezing there.
yeah.
I was like, come on, boy, get to work. But no, I got knocked like you. I was knocked out.
Knocked out, yeah.
I did get the flu though. When I get back from Colorado recently.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah.
I lost a couple pounds. I remember my fever was like at 103, 104.
I'm glad you're
And-
not dead.
I know. I didn't know it was bad. Like,
Yeah.
apparently, it's bad if your fever stays high consecutively. Like,
Mhm.
it's not good for you. It goes like what brain damage.
Brain damage, organ failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I remember I was with my girlfriend, and it's crazy because she was with me the entire time, and she didn't get it.
Yeah.
And like we were laying in bed, and she would like put her hands, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're burning up." And then I think after the third day, I finally went to the doctor. Or I called for my doctor, and they didn't have any physical appointments available, so they had to like virtual, you know. And I went. They swabbed me. Then maybe 5 days. No, in the entirety of 5 days of having it, they thought, "Hey, you have a flu A or something, or flu. I don't know." But at this point, you're probably getting over it. So just go ahead and rest.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing they can give you. It's like a virus, and that was bad. I thought maybe some people had COVID like that, but that flu really humbled me.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not as strong as I thought I was.
Yeah, no, it's because we're getting older, man. Getting
Hope
older.
not. Is that what it
Yeah.
is too?
Could be.
Does it hit you harder when you're? Tell me. You tell me.
whoa. No, I mean everything hits you harder when you're older, right? Like, but
I know. I have to stretch now before I go play. I'm serious. I used to be
that's
able to.
so
I used to be able to
true.
put on my shoes and just go. And
Yeah.
and now I'm just like, I know if I don't stretch, I'm gonna get like, my bones are gonna hurt. I'm gonna feel it tight.
Man, especially after your back surgery, huh?
Oh yeah. I had spinal surgery.
See,
So-
so hold on. First of all, I'm glad you're okay. Second of all, I'm gonna go back to this because I didn't know you had back
I
surgery,
kept it real low. Yeah, I didn't tell anybody.
but also B, I didn't know you moved back to Texas. I saw a video, like an Instagram live or something
Yeah.
from Bishop Arts.
I was
and
just
I'm
jamming
like,
out.
is this ass? Is he back and didn't?
Say
and
hi
then,
to
hold on,
anybody?
wait. It
Oh,
gets worse.
You
It
got
gets
tabs
worse.
on me.
It gets worse. So we have a mutual friend. His name is Josh, and he and I kind of stay regularly in contact. And we have this kind of group of friends. We get together every year, and we do like Friendsgiving, or
Right.
like in February we go out of town or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, Josh, Rudy this, Rudy that, Rudy this," or "Oh, I'm gonna go here with Rudy," or "Oh, we're gonna do this," and I'm like, "Cool,
Damn, man.
tight."
Well,
Oh,
I
no.
felt like if I see Josh, I'll probably see you there too.
Oh,
and,
wait, hold on. What
oh,
does
here
the
we
kid
go.
say? Bet.
I bet. No, yeah, I didn't really announce my moves that big. I was just kind of going with the flow. I like kind of just kind of go incognito for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then I don't know we're popping out. Oh yeah, I got 3 kids.
Yeah, he's moving in
You know.
silence. My boy's moving in silence.
I got my I don't know if you guys know, but I got a Doberman recently. Everyone's kind of like, oh my God, I didn't think he was gonna make it when I first got it. He was so skinny and malnourished. I feel like I just saved him, but
Yeah, dude, you scared me when you told me that he was like really sick and he was gonna die and stuff. I
yeah,
was like,
because we found him on the highway.
Okay.
Somebody was selling
It's
it
like a
for like
rescue.
$200 or $300. I brought it down to 200 because he just wanted to get rid of them. And I've always wanted a Doberman.
Mhm.
It was a pincher, so it's like the brown one, the tan ones. And yeah, he was smaller and skinnier than my cat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw my cat. I have an orange cat. And he was just throwing up diarrhea everywhere. Couldn't keep his food. And I'm in my head, I'm thinking, I was like, this motherfucker gonna make it. You know, like, there goes my money.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Like, I should have put $200 for that cruise instead of this
You
dog.
know, a cruise that never happened.
But no, you know, after a while, he started holding his food, took him to the vet, and you see him now. He's over here like,
Oh, friendly and
Yeah.
full of life. Yeah.
and that's what I need to get him used to. He still has one more round of shots, so I can't take him to a dog park yet. But I want to socialize him and
Mm-hmm.
you know, get him. I don't want him to become one of those dogs where
Yeah.
you can't go in because like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh, like mine.
was yours like that?
Yeah.
Oh, but yours is Chihuahua though.
Yeah, it's Chihuahua.
Oh, dude, those are
Yeah.
made that way.
She doesn't let anybody inside the house, man. If she hears anybody like walking around, she starts barking like
Oh,
crazy.
and she'll bite you.
Yeah,
That's
she
the
will
thing.
bite you. Yeah,
like,
she's not
bro.
afraid of anything or anybody.
I remember I went over one time and I don't know if my ankle gets snapped or like the back of my, you know, right here, just like a hook. I'm like, yo, oh, don't worry about her.
Yeah, she's traumatized. She's traumatized. man.
That's his excuse.
Yeah, she has like
Traumatized from
she has a
what?
little PTSD. It's because she was raised with my sister's family. They used to live out in Waxahachie, and so one time, I think the house was alone. Nobody was home except for my dog Mocha. She's a little Chihuahua, and she was like in my niece's room. And like somebody supposedly had broke in. They took a bunch of money like from my sister's closet or something. They
Damn.
took like some belongings and stuff, and like I think they went into that room, and they like I think Mocha might have bit them. We only say that because like there was some blood on the floor, and like my niece got home and she was like hiding like under the bed and stuff, and like she was missing a tooth from that. But there wasn't any blood on her. She wasn't like beat up or anything. She didn't have any bruises, didn't have like any type of cuts. So it looks like she just kind of bit like some skin off or something, or like some kind of wound, and they just like left. So that's what I'm saying. She's like my little security alarm.
It's not a big dog, man. So for it to bite
Yeah.
and go full steam, I mean, it's pretty impressive. If you ask me, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, at least you tried. You know,
Yeah, but I that's why I think like she has like some PTSD from that.
what
'cause,
what
like,
did they
you
what
know,
did they steal again? I can't remember.
So they stole like some cash and they stole like some belongings. I don't know what it was exactly.
but it wasn't like the whole. They didn't go through the whole house, right?
No, they didn't go through the whole.
So
house.
I think we had this talk a while back, but I was thinking like it's probably someone you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
kind of the whole situation's kind of sus, honestly. Like I still think about it. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird. So I'm thinking like it's somebody.
Bro,
like,
if I were
kinda
you,
close.
I'd carry your dog and then go to each
Mm.
person
Yeah.
and see.
Oh,
See,
let's
that's
see how the
the,
dog
other, that's
reacts.
the other
Yeah,
story. Like
yeah.
we've seen her react to somebody that's really close to us, like all the time.
Yeah.
Like way crazier than anybody else. Because this person kind
Bro.
of comes over, kind of. Yeah, it's. I don't want to talk about it too much.
We gotta
just
go
'cause,
knock
like,
some
it's a
doors
little-
real quick.
Like, they could be watching this. I don't know, but like they.
You got a military man over here, man.
Like
Like, you can make
she-
it happen.
He'll come over sometimes, and she doesn't even bark at him as much. But like at this guy, it's
Yeah.
just like this certain guy. She just goes ham on him, like nothing. Like she hears his voice or she hears him breathe, she goes crazy. And
Got
it-
me hyped.
Like to me, it's just a little. It's a little weird, man. But
Yeah.
Her not just sitting there like,
yeah,
hmm,
yeah.
hmm.
No, legit. Yeah, like I get kind of sussed out just by it, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like nothing we can prove, you know.
Yeah.
We can't like do anything about it,
You
and we
torture
can't
him.
like start blaming without like having any actual like proof. I wish we had cameras there, but we don't. Now we do though, just because of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well,
Dude, that's one thing. Like I love Ring cameras.
yeah.
Those are so like I don't know.
I love hacking into those. No, I'm kidding.
Stop. No, because they do. They actually do that. People do that.
No, and the baby monitors, people will hack into those too. But
Yeah.
like,
That's
I-
kind of creepy. That baby's kind of too far
Yeah.
forward.
yeah. But no, I mean, I like the Ring cameras. You can put them wherever, and
So I don't have Ring, but I have Blink.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Same
opera.
thing.
never heard of her.
But yeah, it works pretty efficient.
So you're Team Ring then, right?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. I am. Too.
I think we got Ring because it was on sale at Ross.
Nah.
Ross.
Yeah.
Nah, that's Blink, bro. I think that's
I mean, I'm sorry, not Ring. I got Blink because
There
it
you
was
go.
at
Yeah,
Ross.
Blink, because that's what your security system's
Yeah.
doing is blinking.
Like, well, we can't do
I
nothing.
know. We didn't see it. We didn't see anything.
But yeah, I'm able to see like, you know, the whole live feeds of all the cameras.
Yeah.
So it gets the job done.
Yeah.
The only well, I'm not gonna talk too much about it. Someone's gonna be like, "Hi, where is this at?"
Yeah. But like with Ring, I mean, I think when they first came out, it was easier, but now, you know, everything is going to like a subscription model and a monthly fee.
that's
And they
annoying.
just raise the subscription prices for it too. That's what pissed me off.
Yeah,
Like,
that-
by like $2 or
Yeah,
something.
I'm like, what are you doing? What extra features are you giving me? Nothing.
Mhm.
Not one thing. But the ability to like archive your recordings and quickly like export them if something happens. I think that's just invaluable. And but the way it integrates, like, so I have like an Echo Show, and like, Alexa, show me the front door, and it'll pop up the door.
Man, I love fucking with
yeah.
those.
That's cool.
My brother has one, and every time I go over, I'm like, Alexa, put an alarm at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. alarm set.
I love
Put
it.
an alarm at 3:30 a.m.
I love it because, so there was one time I was in the restroom and I was out of toilet paper, but you can make an announcement on the Alexa app, and you can type what you wanted to say and hit like announce, and all of your Alexas at the same time.
Alert!
Message from Tristan. Please bring toilet paper, or like whatever.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's neat.
I love that. I kind of have the same system in my house. We were talking about it earlier, but the speakers that I have are HomePods. So they're like Apple speakers,
Yeah.
but it's like the big ones, not the little mini ones. It's like the big original HomePods. And I just tell Siri, like, if I run out of toilet paper, like you were saying, I just tell Siri, like, hey, add this to my shopping list.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, remind me to do this at this time. And I just love it, especially now, too, because, like, I can connect my music to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just play it all around the house.
Yeah.
Go to a different room, playing the same thing. And it's so clear too. It's so nice. But I can't hook up my cameras to it. That's what I hate.
Yeah.
I really want to see my security system.
Yeah,
in
I
there.
think Apple needs to come out with some sort of competitor to the Echo, the ones that have the screens.
Yeah,
I think if they could do that, I mean, you have iPads, and like on my iPad, I can pull up my Ring camera, but it's not within this.
Yeah, it's not really integrated into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like another app in the just kind of
Yeah,
forcefully downloaded.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what's kind of annoying about it, but whatever, security. I feel
I
better
can see
now that
Apple
you're-
actually getting into that game, though. Now you think about it. I think I'd get it if I could. There's like a, Apple securities.
Yeah.
They're
And
kind
you
of
go
stepping
smooth
into
with
it.
your phone, like everything. That would be nice.
Yeah, they're kind of stepping into it, but it's slow with Apple, man. You know how they are.
What is that? What is that company that security? They go door to door, and it's like a blue logo. Hey, I forgot what it was called. They kept trying to sell me their service and saying, "Hey, security system. If someone breaks in,
ADT?
Oh, you're talking about ADT?
ADT.
ADT, yeah.
Have you ever had that before?
No, but when I was in California, there was a company called Vivint.
Yeah, it's kind of
The
same concept.
Orange, yeah. I mean, they might be the
It's
same.
solid.
company,
Is it a good
Um,
investment?
realistically, what they're just selling you parts that you can get yourself, right? So
Mm.
like motion detectors, keypads,
Mm-hmm.
carbon monoxide things, the panel on your wall, like all of that stuff you can get. Like Google makes them now. Ring is
Yeah,
starting
I
to
think
make
Ring
them
does now too, yeah.
So
Nice.
the only benefit to having a company like that is because they provide that monitoring. So like when your alarm goes off, they'll call 911 for you or something like that.
I think.
But even Ring, I think provides something like that.
I was gonna
now.
say, like,
yeah.
if you see somebody robbing your house and you don't have that 911 integration, like you just see somebody robbing your house, like, ah, shit,
yeah,
not the
I'm
PC.
just gonna record it.
I'm gonna call the cops. I got him up. He's taking a dump.
You talk to him. You talk to him on the mic, like, "Hey,
Bro, please
get out.
I'm gonna unleash my chihuahua on you.
I'm sure that's already happened before, though. Like, I'm sure there's somebody watching their house get robbed
Yeah,
and just kind of sitting there and like, and then they already called the cops, but in the meantime, all you got to, I mean, what can you do, right? You just watch and
Yeah.
let it happen.
That's my biggest fear because I have cameras like all over my house too, and even inside. I have one inside, and I'm just my biggest fear is
Inside
that I can't
camera's
do
crazy,
shit.
bro. Do you have an inside camera, like camera inside?
no, we wanted to get one, but we just never got around. to it.
Man, I don't know if I can do it. Like I feel like it's invasion of my
It's
privacy.
weird, so like I do turn it off sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah, I can.
Well, just because like, I don't know, man. Maybe one day I just want to lay on my couch naked.
yeah. That's where it got. That's where it got
Somebody,
weird.
when then my girl just
But,
hops
okay,
in the camera, like,
so let's
what
just
do you
say
do?
let's just say some hacker hacks in your camera. Then so what? Like,
Mhm.
what are you
Man,
afraid of?
like, someone's gonna make money off of me now. Like, come on.
Yeah.
How did you already have an OnlyFans?
I had to cancel it after. No, okay.
Your stalker.
Did you see that? What do you think about the Apple? What do you call it? The Vision Pro? Is it Vision Pro? No,
Yeah, the
Vision Pro. Yeah.
that's pretty dope. I think. Okay,
It's
so
not for me.
you don't
No?
like it?
I think until we get far enough to where it's not like a giant thing on your head.
You want
it's-
an implant chip in your brain?
Yes. Yeah. Let me.
Hernan would do it. So Hernan's
Yeah.
he's a hardcore Apple
Yeah.
guy.
I am too. Okay, I guess not as hardcore, but
He gets
I just,
bent over.
I don't.
Yeah, I'll get fucked, bro.
I don't have. There is no way I can justify that. Like maybe if it was $100, $200,
Mhm.
but for the price point of where it's at now, I cannot
Right.
sleep at night.
I
who's
see your
the-
point though.
Who's the competitor on that? Wasn't there one like
Nobody.
Quest.
a
kinda.
Quest? That's what it was.
Or like basically they're trying to, well, they do their own thing because it's like they're trying to set themselves apart with all the VR stuff, but it's basically a VR,
yeah.
a virtual reality, augmented
Yeah.
reality, just trying to put those two together. And like their competitors are technically with Quest Pro, Oculus, and like
Hey,
Yeah, but can
What
you
are
do
you
the
doing?
same things like
No.
have a virtual MacBook and have that?
I think that's the competitive
Document-
advantage on that on the
Yeah.
Apple one.
I think
Yeah.
on the Facebook one, the one that Facebook makes, which is I think the Oculus, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's theirs. Yeah, you can actually do the monitor thing. I think that's what Mark Zuckerberg showed, like where he uploaded a whole video where he was just like, "Oh, look, guys, we can do this too." Right after Apple started showing off
Yeah.
their Vision Pro thing, but yeah,
I feel like it opens the room for so many other opportunities. Like you can invent, not to, I guess, poke my brain here, but years ago I had the idea like, man, what if somehow you can have like go to a basketball game and have like a virtual reality and it looks like you're sitting there, and then now it's possible.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, I could have been rich. That's $1 billion idea. My other idea right now is, so you know how they have watch parties? You know, if they're playing away, you can have a watch party
Yeah.
at the home stadium. What if they're able to replicate the game in the field of the home where they're not currently playing as a
Yeah.
hologram? And then you're there watching the game,
Yeah.
but it's all hologram, but it's there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's possible. There might be a little bit lag.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
is that how
I don't
difficult does that seem?
I don't know. Probably pretty easy for them to do, but
Because you saw that Tupac
they
hologram.
did it with Tupac. Yeah, so
Have you seen that Tupac hologram?
no. But I have been to a concert where they've done that.
Oh, you've seen the actual hologram.
I've been in a concert and I didn't know that's what I didn't know that was a thing.
yeah.
And this was like years and years ago, over 10 years ago.
Oh,
And
dang.
it was a Brad Paisley concert with nobody. I was about to say the guest starring, but no, it was a hologram. And so it was a Brad Paisley concert and he started a duet. Well, he starts his part and then a spotlight comes on somewhere back on the other side of the stage.
Yeah.
And Carrie Underwood starts walking on stage and starts singing. And I was like, I didn't know Carrie Underwood was going to be here. And like the crowd were all cheering. And then we didn't find out until afterwards that it was a hologram.
That was 10 years ago.
Yes. And it was so.
So it's obviously got to be
Yeah.
much, because that Tupac one was crazy.
Yeah.
There was a Drake one too. I feel like now it's got to be almost damn near perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They can do so much with that, and good, both, and evil, And but for me, I'm looking at it, money point and saying, hey, we can replicate the games going on over there. I guess scan the players with their live movement and bring it here to the home stadium, and have it showing like they're playing right here in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty dope.
that's kind of sick for a watch party. You better trademark that.
Or what if you can, you can have it in your own place and just put a little platform here in the carpet and just have it right there, the game in front of you. You're just kind of watching it like miniature.
Oh, like it's a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little Yu-Gi-Oh
Oh, that'd be
thing.
cool.
Or you can make the Yu-Gi-Oh games. Yeah,
You can do so
There's-
much with it. I don't know. My brain's kind of just
Yeah.
kind of,
yeah.
how do I make money? How do I survive?
I don't know, man. Technology is getting crazy. Just the things that you can do with VR and
It's moving too fast, to be honest.
AI, right?
AI, it's going to,
Do you feel like it's slowed down for a sec? Because
I
I
think
think it
it's
kind of plateaued.
yeah,
I think
Yeah.
we're kind of at a point where like
oh, what else can I do?
like oh, that's it. Like oh, whatever.
we recently it got implemented in my job.
Okay.
So they because before they kind of gave out the warning of the, hey, don't put any of our information into this here, privacy terms, whatever. And then maybe like about a month ago, they said, hey, we want to show you, we have our own,
Sure.
AI, and it's basically Chat GPT, or what's the Google one? I don't even know what the Google one is. I don't use it,
Yeah, I don't know.
but it really is Chat GPT 4, just covering with the Ford's logo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I feel like they're just now scraping, but eventually, a lot of the jobs that we do, like, like whenever we do reviews on dealerships,
Oh yeah.
we just look at like their financials and KPMs and just numbers and see are they above or below.
Yeah.
That's all systematic.
Yeah.
I can easily just be pressed by a button that gives me a report that
Yeah.
it's gonna go away.
I don't know. I mean, I think automation or whatever, because like in Excel, right? If you're talking about numbers and data in Excel, you can format cells and conditional formatting and pivot tables and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think it'll get to a point. I don't think you'll ever be at a point where the human part is going to be completely removed from it.
It's either that or they're gonna go to India. The jobs.
They'll do whatever
Dude.
for their $2 an hour.
So the department I was in got gutted, and a lot of those positions got sent over to India, in which I kind of supervise them now. And I mean, it was a weird transition. They're great people, hardworking for sure,
Yeah.
dedicated, but at the same time, like, dang, we're kind of screwing ourselves here, And I feel like if we move too forward, I mean, right now they're getting a hang of. They're basically doing the job that I was doing a few months ago, and they're learning quick. And now they want to advance more. And I'm thinking like, oh, should I teach them wrong? No, no, they're great, but yeah, it puts a little nerve, breaking, not just for the company I work for, but for any company. I mean, if I was the owner of a huge company and I see like, whoa, I can pay this guy $70K, or I can pay this guy $22K a year for the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, at the end, business is business. But you think there's like an ethics point where you got to stop, or just go make your money? Like, would you stop and ethically just keep the job here?
I don't know, man. I think I've been on the wrong side of that kind of thing before, and it definitely can like cause some bitterness, right?
Yeah.
But like what you said, business is business, right? And profit is profit. But I think you can only go so far and so long with that business is business and profit is profit mindset before you get to a point where like nobody's going to want to do business with you. Especially online reviews, online reputation, like Glassdoor, Indeed, Facebook, Instagram. Like, let's say you lay me off so that my job is replaced by somebody over in India. What's to stop me from going on TikTok and just blasting your company negatively? Like,
And there's been a lot of those people.
yeah, like there was that girl from Cloudflare. All of her coworkers were getting laid off, and they like kind of gave her a heads up. And so she recorded her meeting with HR, and they let her go. And she's like, this is not okay. But, it's just that bad press and that bad negativity.
I wonder how they're doing now. I wonder if it affected them, other than just your name getting dragged on the floor. But
I don't think so, because people need websites and people need hosting, and Cloudflare is one of the top
ones,
companies to do it.
What do you think, Hernan?
I zoned out. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I'm just.
What is Cloudflare? I've heard of that name.
So they do a lot of hosting, website validation, security stuff. So have you ever tried to go to a website and it says DNS server error or whatever? Cloudflare is a company that manages servers and IP addresses, and is one of the companies that makes the internet basically work the way it's supposed to. So Cloudflare, AWS, Amazon Web Services. So there's a bunch of different companies out there that kind of basically do the same thing. But
Gotcha.
they just had developers, like these software engineers and sales people. I think she was probably in the sales department, but the machine is gonna keep running. So
Yeah, tough luck. Sorry, buddy.
yeah,
No, what I was thinking back to was, have you guys ever heard of that website, the YNC?
No.
It's like I don't think it's up anymore, but I was
We'll
thinking
see.
back on that trauma thing, on your trauma question.
yeah.
If it comes up, you're not gonna want to see it, but it's like a bunch of like gory. It's like one of those gore websites. It's probably like
Okay.
The
like one of those-
YNC.com?
yeah. I think it was .com, but it's
Oh,
like
Jesus Christ.
no way. No, I can't. It is still up.
It's up.
That's crazy.
There
You a
was a-
psychopath, bro?
There was another website too. Oh man,
I
the
used to
name is
watch this when I was a
escaping me.
kid, dude. That's when I was thinking about his question.
Yeah.
Maybe you got
Like when I was-
traumatized
yeah,
by
when I
all
was-
this, bro.
I
got
think I have like
some
some deep rooted like trauma.
woman
from
killed
that.
by 4 pit bulls.
There was like some torture stuff on there. I remember seeing that. What were you gonna say though?
There was another website, kind of like in that same kind of area, and I'm trying to remember the name of the website, but it was basically that kind of stuff, like gory,
Right.
and not like necessarily murder, but like somebody got hit by a train and somebody took a picture of like the human remains and they posted it. So
Yeah.
just stuff like that, like, and that was like the early days of the internet when it was just kind of like,
Well, I feel like in the early days, I mean, that's what I was gonna go back to. Is like there was actual like cartel murders on there. There was actual like
Yeah,
beheadings
I remember.
and
I remember
stuff.
seeing. Yeah, I saw one of the beheading one.
Yeah. I was watching this on my sister's computer, so she's watching
So
this.
it's like the first you get the internet in your hands. The first thing you do is like,
yeah, this is when I was a
how
kid.
dark does this go?
I remember she blamed her ex-husband about this too. He got in trouble for it, but he took the hit like a champ. But I think she thought it was like a porn website, which it kind of is. but it's
Wait, he got caught watching porn, or like was it hardcore porn?
So I think that's what she thought it was, but she thought it was him, and it was actually just me. Cause I didn't know about like the search history, so I never cleared my history. Cause I was a kid, I didn't know that existed.
Oh, I see what's going. Okay,
So,
so,
like,
it was you.
Yeah, so he got blamed for the stuff that I was looking at. But
Nah, she knows, bro.
I think so. No,
I'm pretty
I
sure.
don't know. Yeah, maybe now. I don't know, because like I remember him getting yelled at and stuff, and I just wasn't saying anything. But she was like describing some of the stuff that was on there. I remember her even telling my mom about it, and I was like, oh, I wonder. Oh, damn. I guess I probably shouldn't have looked at that stuff. I should have done something. I don't know what search history
Okay,
was.
what did you tell him? Does he know?
No, he doesn't. I didn't talk
Oh
about
my
it ever again. Bro.
God.
I never talked about this to anybody. I just knew it was probably the stuff that I was looking at, which is that website.
Yeah.
It was just like that weird, like that gory stuff, man. Like,
Yeah, that definitely messed you up. I'd say.
I think so. I think there's something in there.
At what age
about
does your
that.
brain stop developing for men? Is it 20?
I think they said 25, right? 26.
I think it's 25 or
range.
26. Could be wrong.
I think around that range. Yeah,
You were watching when you were like 14.
Younger, man. I think it was younger. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how old I was, but
I'm surprised that site is still up.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's gonna go home tonight and be like, "Oh yes."
No, I kind of
down.
scarred
Yeah,
my
you're gonna whip it out.
I really don't like that stuff anymore. Whip it out to torture porn.
There are people like that though. I think who was I saw that I was doing it. Oh, I started watching Dexter.
Yeah.
Have you watched Dexter? I'm barely season 1 starting it, but I think it was one time when he whipped it out to like something gruesome.
well, I've never seen it, but
Oh,
so
okay.
thank you for.
But I was just like, is this what psychopaths do? And I was like, you too? No.
Oh,
But have you ever I guess not, maybe I don't know. Have you ever come in contact with someone who you thought was maybe a psychopath? Or someone that just gave you the creeps by the way they talked or their emotions?
can't say that I have. I've been around people that are like weird and creepy, but no one that ever like. I think our bodies kind of know,
Yeah.
right? So I've never been around anybody that's kind of like made me get the chills or like the hair stand up on the back, but I've definitely heard stories of people who say that that's happened to them when they've been around somebody, and then they find out like, oh, that's actually a serial killer or like a rapist or something like that. But I've never had the
Pleasure.
pleasure. Yeah.
There was when I was in middle school, I forgot his name. There was this kid. Something was off about him. He was kind of, I think he was part of gang leader or just kind of just doing bad activities. But a couple years ago, he I think he's doing life in prison now.
Mm.
But yeah, I think he robbed somebody in New York or Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and then just killed them point blank. Like he didn't even need to.
Yeah.
He just did it. And I look back, I'm like,
Jeez.
dang, I went to middle school with this kid.
Yeah.
Now he's a grown man, but I don't know. Some people have just different ways to react. Another way, maybe he's just. You think some people are just hardwired that way?
No, I think it all comes down to how people are raised and what they're exposed to as kids. Because I mean, we like to watch documentaries, like true crime documentaries and stuff like that, and there's a lot of them out there that are interviewing people in prison for life because of murders or stuff like that. And one of them that I remember is this guy, and his brother got murdered, and so he got involved with the crew that his brother ran with, and then he committed a murder. And so like it's just a cycle, man. It's just the environment you're in, and not everybody falls into it, right? Like it's easy for me. I wasn't raised in an environment like that. It's easy for me to say like, oh, well, if you don't want to be like that, like do whatever it takes to get out of it. But I've never been in a situation where like my family was dirt poor and the only way to survive was to like rob somebody, or like we weren't going to eat if I didn't, steal food or stuff like that. So
Have you ever been on the other side of that? So actually getting robbed, or
just by the U.S. government when I pay taxes. But no, I mean, I've lived a pretty.
has your house ever gotten broken into, or?
No, but my car has.
I've never had that, but
So-
I have in my house. But keep going.
But I won't say broken into because it was my fault because I left it unlocked. I think we can't prove this, but I got up for work one day, normal routine. I get down to my car and I put it in reverse and start backing out, and like it's one of those feelings like, wait a minute, and the little thing above where the light is that holds your sunglasses,
Open?
it was open. And I'm like, I never leave that open because I don't ever put my sunglasses in there. So I pull back into the parking spot, put it in park, and I kind of look around. And I didn't even realize it. My console was open. There was stuff on the passenger side floor. Like I'm just so on autopilot in the morning because I'm not a morning person. So I'm like, what the? So I'm looking around to see what was taken, and it was.
So at this point, you realized.
At this point, I realized somebody took something.
Yeah.
So then I'm trying to figure out what did they take. And they took a backpack with my MacBook Pro, with my iPad Pro,
No.
AirPods, basically like my mini on the go kit,
Got
right?
the whole
The
set.
whole shebang, the whole setup.
Jesus.
And left my Ray-Bans, but
These hoes are ugly.
but plot twist, I had AirTags. I had an AirTag on my backpack.
This is pretty recent.
Nice.
Yeah, had an AirTag on my backpack, and all the stuff had Find My like
Yeah.
activated and stuff. But back then it didn't have Find My when your stuff was like powered off or whatever, so I wouldn't have been able to find it without the AirTag. So I call the cops, and I go up to the police station to make a report, and they're like, "You have an AirTag?" And the police at this point, these AirTags were still like fresh on the scene.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm kind of a semi-hardcore Apple fan, so like as soon as they hit the shelves, I bought some
Same.
because I was still touring at that time, and there's like this prank where if you leave your bag not in your bunk or in the bay, somebody will hide it somewhere. So I was always forgetting my stuff everywhere.
Your
So
shit's getting moved.
yeah, like,
God damn
just
it.
whatever. So, so I got the AirTags, and the detectives, they were like, "Can you pull it up?" So I pull out my phone and I'm like, I can see the little dot of my backpack, and it's got the little backpack icon.
It's fucking
Yeah,
Mexico.
exactly.
It's
where
in
at.
Arlington,
Oh shit!
your hometown, right?
Oh,
What do you mean?
boy.
I'm in the Highlands.
So, and this was in Southwest Fort Worth near Benbrook area. And so I'm like, well, that's definitely not where I left my backpack. So, and I promise, this sounds like I'm making it up. I promise.
No,
it's
go
not.
ahead.
So they're like, okay, go ahead and go about your business. And so like I went to work, and maybe an hour or two later, I get a call. Westworth Village PD is on a joint operation with Arlington PD. They like tell me where they are, and they're like, pull up your AirTag. Is this where it is? And I'm like, yeah, it's showing to be in that. Like the dot is basically, if you could, it's on a top down map. The dot is on top of like the front porch. And so I'm like, it's been there for like the past 2 hours, and they're like, okay, we'll call you back. So about another hour, they call back, and they're like, has it moved? And I'm like, no, it hasn't. They're like, okay, hold on. And so like they put me on hold, right? And then I wish. They put me on
You
hold.
hear a chopper?
They put me on hold, and then they're like, okay, we'll call you back. Well, I get a couple of text messages, and it looks like they took like pictures through a car window into somebody's back seat.
God.
And they're like, is this your backpack? And I was like, yep, that's it. My backpack, a few other purses, just like a bunch of stuff in the back seat. And
He
they're
said,
like,
"That's all mine too."
Yeah. So,
Jesus.
so they're like, okay, we'll call you back. So I go another couple hours, and they're like, okay, you can come pick up your backpack from the police station.
Nice.
They actually did it.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna be like, "Yeah, sorry, bud."
So
Yeah.
I found out, though, the detective told me that in that car and in the residence of where my backpack was found, they had purses, wallets, credit cards, IDs, loose change, jewelry.
So you helped take down some
So-
some big deal people.
You know, I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a hero.
Yeah, it's all because of an
Come
Apple
on.
AirTag, right? So
Yeah.
it's so wild. But like, I don't. At first, I felt like, how dare you? Like the audacity, and then I got the embarrassment of like, well, they didn't break my window and they didn't yank my door open, so I'm pretty stupid.
He's like, "Sir, how do you know they broke in? Was your door locked?" Well,
What happened was,
No, you'd be surprised though. Not too many people lock their doors. Like,
yeah,
it's weird.
yeah, and that's what they do. They just go through like
Mhm.
apartment complexes and they just pull on door handles.
Yep. Till one of them opens.
I don't think. Yeah, I've never got in my car. My mom has though.
Yeah.
She had she used to have her new car now doesn't, but she used to have a bad habit of leaving her car unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
She got her car broken into maybe 3-4 times.
Damn.
All because leaving it unlocked.
Yeah.
She never had anything.
Yeah.
I remember one time, I don't know if I told you the story, but it's when I was still living with my parents. I was asleep, and then I hear the door open. My brother's like, "Rudy, someone's in my mom's car." And then I look in the camera. We go to the garage. I see the camera, and I see somebody just going, like, digging through everything.
That's my. I want that to happen.
Right.
I'm so ready
jeez.
I have that.
because I
dream.
am a Second Amendment
They
advocate.
gonna find out.
I don't call 911. You know, like that kind of thing.
So this is probably at that point I didn't have any guns.
Yeah.
And this is very dumb of me. I decided to go outside and confront him.
Yeah.
And I had no shoes, no pants, no shirt, just my boxers. And at this point, when I came out, he had opened the trunk already, and we had a car battery there, which was an old one. The new one's already in the car. So he's walking. He has a car battery, and he's walking to his car. And there's somebody driving in the passenger, somebody driving, and then just waiting for him. And I'm like, "Hey!" And he looks back, and he starts running with the battery, but then it's too heavy. And I'm running full speed, like chopping. You hear my feet clapping on the concrete, like I'm going full speed on there. And then he drops the battery, and he gets in the car, and they go. And then I start cussing them out and everything, and they stop. And then out of nowhere, I hear like 2 shots, and they shot they shot. I don't think they shot at me, but kind of my direction because I felt I didn't feel it, but I heard the bullets go like a couple of 20 feet out to my right, and I'm like, It's like
you could have.
that could have got me.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, I'm like, why did I go after him? I guess maybe I was still asleep but yeah. And I remember, and then the next few days I had like blisters in my feet because I was running so hard on the concrete. I was gripping that concrete, like, click, 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 click. Like slapping the concrete. But yeah, that's probably my closest encounter I had with Tristan. Was like,
You could be Batman.
I don't know if I was I was more like Robin there. Batman would have gotten the job done. I kind of scared him off.
All I
You
got is
saved
a
that
bat.
battery.
That old battery.
Come on.
It stayed there too
If only you had a Chihuahua.
to get him out.
Exactly.
You never had.
Exactly.
Well, you told us about your ranch getting broken into.
Yeah, that was it. There hasn't been anything in my house anymore since I got the cameras, honestly. So maybe that's like a deterrent.
It's like your family members know you have a camera now.
Yeah.
They're like, we can't break into your house.
Yeah. Shut up.
Oh, is that where we landed? That it was a family member?
I'm thinking it's a family member. I mean, I don't
Gotta
think-
be, right?
I have no idea.
He's
I'll
like,
just I'm gonna
end it right there. Okay,
I'm gonna end it right there. Yeah. I don't know.
But
I
sometimes,
gifted them AirTags for Christmas though. I'm trying to
Yeah.
get them into it.
yeah, I put it on my wallet. As
Yeah,
comes
hell yeah.
clutch so much.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Also, you know how your AirPods Pros, whatever, they had Find My now you can track them.
Yeah.
So on my way back from Puerto Rico, we had a stop in Atlanta, and I was charging my AirPods Pros, and I got on the plane, and it was time to get on the plane. I was like, oh crap, I left my AirPods charging. So I went to the charging station, and they were gone. AirPods and the charger, and I was mad. I was like, and I couldn't blame anyone but myself. Because I was sitting there, and I think I moved, and I just forgot to take him with me. So I'm kind of looking, and my girlfriend I was like, just get in the plane, go, go, go. I'm going to wait till the very last second and see what I can do. And I look at my Find My, and it's showing like, it's like, I guess it was not syncing right, and it was showing the last location at the security checkpoint.
Oh, yeah.
Which was me, because it said like 50 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, it hasn't, updated. I was like, whatever. So then I get in the plane, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, oh, I was mad. And I was, let me check again. I get on Find My, and it says connected. And then it had the little arrow, like going.
on the plane.
And I'm over here in section, and then like seat 30 something, back there. And then at first I walk back, and it says getting farther away.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's here. So then I turn around,
Yeah.
and it's getting closer. And it's like 20 feet, 10 feet, 5. And then it finally gets to it, and I'm here, and I go first to the right, and then no. And I get to the left, and then it's like, contact right there, and I see the only guy wearing some headphone pros. And I was like, bro, those my headphones? And then he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, I tried reporting it, but they couldn't take this. They couldn't take it. They said they couldn't, take it. And then, so I was like, so you just kept him for yourself? He's like, well, they weren't gonna take him in, And then at this point, I'm like, do I want to fight this guy in the plane? Or I'm probably gonna end up in the no-fly list. I'm like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
And I was like so close to just like smack him or something, but I was like, oh, it's not worth it. And I was just give me the fucking headphones, And he just took them off. He gave them to me, and I sat back down, and I was like, this motherfucker still has my charger. So I'm missing my charger too.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're already sitting down. So when we get off the plane, we had another layover. And at that point, I get off and I confront him again. And I was like, if I find him at the airport, it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to be on the no-fly list.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it. But I was like, where the fuck's my charger? He's like, bro, I swear, I didn't see anything. And it was just the AirPod Pro. He was like, so are you going to take the AirPods but not the charger? Like, make it make sense. He's like, bro, like my phone, I don't even have the iPhone charger. It's the USB-C one.
Yeah.
And I was looking, I was like, you got me there. I was like, okay.
No,
I was like,
why would he get you there? Because he still has to charge the
Well,
AirPods.
you're right. So I kind of just let it go at that point.
Yeah.
I really can't. I got the most important thing. I was just like,
yeah.
So I got it back, and
I guess. Yeah.
it's probably those are the ones I have now. I was so upset though, and I was like you, I was on to myself because I left them there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got them back. So shout out to Apple again for
yeah, I love that stuff now, man.
they had it. They knocked it down, and
Yeah, and then like at home, they have it now with your remote. You can do it with your
Oh,
Apple
really?
TV remote. Yeah.
Oh, I don't have Apple TV remote
Mm.
or Apple TV. Is it worth it?
The Apple TV. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell people that when they ask me.
You don't
'cause
watch much
it's
TV,
like-
right?
No, I just watch a bunch of like
Porn.
YouTube, if anything, or just hook up like, yeah, that too.
No, I'm kidding.
I would say yes, because it like my sound bar is Dolby Atmos, right,
Mm.
which is like right now
Mhm.
one of the top sound things you can have, right? And that's what
I
they're
got
releasing
TCL.
content in. So, like if your TV can't process that codec, that audio, the Apple TV can. So you're able to take advantage of whatever soundbar you have.
See, the thing is that too is that a lot of people don't even like know what that is. A lot of people don't care about it.
Yeah.
I like it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think because you're sound engineers, you pick up those small little details which make a huge difference of what you're listening to or what you're picking up.
What I
But-
also like about it is that it does make like any TV like a smart TV.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cool
yeah.
thing, and like you can AirPlay anything to your TV
Mhm.
without an issue.
You can cast.
Wait,
to
so
it.
Apple TV is not a TV? It's with the Apple logo.
So it's like it's a box with the Apple
Yeah.
logo. Oh, so you're talking about like an actual.
I thought it was like
monitor.
an actual 60-inch
I
TV
gotcha,
that had the
I
Apple
gotcha.
logo on
Yeah,
there.
yeah. No.
No, like, I haven't seen
box.
those.
No, it's just like a Fire Stick kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of hook it up.
Okay,
But this
It's a
one's-
streaming device.
Yeah.
Basically.
everything's going. It's gonna go back to cable eventually.
No, I think we're just gonna go back to more pirating. Well, I think it is.
Well,
I'm
that too,
doing-
but I'm saying because everything's so, you gotta pay for streaming service
Yeah.
for everything, even playoff games, shows,
Yeah.
like, and it's all streamed differently. And like, oh, the game's gonna be on YouTube TV today. Oh,
Yeah.
yesterday was an HBO Max. Like, what? Like,
Yeah.
we gotta have all this. Eventually, they're gonna be like, you know what? I want to have one platform that has everything combined. Oh well, hey, here's cable.
Yeah.
It's a cycle.
But well, the good thing about having so many different platforms, I think, is even those companies get confused sometimes. And what I mean by that is when COVID started, I said we moved into a house, and so we had an AT&T guy come knock on our door. Hey, do you want AT&T fiber? Sure. How much is it? Oh, $65
Yeah.
for 1 gig. I'm like, heck yeah, because Robert was working from home, so he was doing a lot of data, and I was streaming, so I needed a lot of data, right? So, but the promo offer was free HBO Max with your account. So like, okay, cool, great. It comes with HBO Max. That's something I don't have to pay
Like
for.
3 months.
No, like
Oh, it came with a full.
yeah, just free.
Oh, nice.
Just free. Not 1 year, not 3 months, nothing like that. Just free.
Nice.
So I moved from that house into an apartment, transferred my account, kept HBO Max because I still had the AT&T service. As of 2022, 23, I haven't had AT&T internet in over a year, close to 2 years. I still have HBO Max.
No way.
I
You
have
fucked up.
never in my life one day ever paid for HBO Max. And then this last apartment that we were in, the basic cable package was included in our rent. So it was Charter, Spectrum, whatever you want to call it. And we moved. You can still access Charter on the app.
way.
So I'm like, hey, you know what? That's great. And then like with our cell phone provider, we have Netflix and Hulu.
Mm.
So I mean, you know, there's ways, but yeah, I mean, I think
If you work for AT&T and you want to have a nice budget cut and you have save on, go through all your data and see
I
where
know.
you,
But that's just,
they can
that
save
goes to
so
show
much
you,
money. Oh my god.
yeah.
Well,
No, they can't even safeguard like my passwords and stuff. They're too busy letting my stuff get hacked, my personal information get hacked.
That's so true.
oh sorry, who did it again? I keep getting those notifications on my phone. It's like your password has been part of a data leak. Recommendation change, and then I go to it and it's like 17 different passwords or sites.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm like,
Yeah.
They can have it.
you can have it.
I'm like, good luck. That's my good luck.
Oh, you got my login at ross.com? Okay, sure. But what are they going to do?
Nothing. I don't know.
Well-
I just start pirating stuff now. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what websites you can use anymore.
I used to have.
I'm a little.
Mhm.
I'm approaching the vintage years.
Yeah.
So, like Napster, I was around when Napster
Oh,
first came
bro.
out, and so like in middle school, we had these. Me and this guy, we had, from an early age, I've always been like a tech guy. So when CD burners first came out, we got
You were the guy.
them. And so like we had this binder with these lists of songs. And so we'd go around and asking people what songs, if they wanted to buy a CD, and we would charge them like $10.
Holy shit.
We charged them
We were
$10.
hustling.
Yes.
I respect that.
Bro, those Snapples and Hot Cheetos weren't gonna pay for
Pay
themselves,
themselves.
right? So, but so the early days of Napster and LimeWire but once it got to like Torrent and Pirate Bay, like I'm just like, oh, this is beyond my
LimeWire was like
scope.
AIDS for your computer, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I never had any issues.
I remember
luckily.
I got a computer, and the first thing I did was get LimeWire, and that bad boy was never the same. I looked at it and I was like, I would just click on something, it would just freeze, and I was like,
Yeah, I'm so
Yeah, it was
lucky
terrible.
I never had any problems because it was like the family computer. So
You didn't have to worry about
no,
it.
I mean, I don't know. Somebody else did it. It wasn't me.
now, like I don't know. Do you watch much sports? Or
I mean,
Oh,
football,
shit.
NFL.
I wonder who won tonight. The hockey finals. Did you hear about what was going on? So basically, it's the final, right, for the Stanley Cup.
Uh-huh.
It's a 7-game series. Oilers versus Panthers. The Panthers were up 3-0, so they just needed one more game to win the series out of 7, and the Oilers freaking brought it back to 3 games. They're tied 3-3.
Wow.
That's never happened, bro. That's like so this,
Wow.
in basketball, because the Mavs same way too. We were down 3-0, and I think 161 teams have been down 3-0, and 0 have came back to win it in
Wow.
Game 7. So I was a hardcore believer. I was like,
Yeah.
we got it. But yeah, this just happened right now, and in hockey. So I'm curious who won it. Probably overtime. Let's see, Oilers. Ooh, Panthers just scored 2-1. We'll see. It's the last game. Whoever wins today wins the cup.
I used to be a big hockey fan. When I was living in California, I would always go to the Kings games
Really?
at the Staples Center. It was so like it was fun.
It's crazy. Live. You went to one live too,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I went to the American Airlines Center. I really got into hockey
Yeah.
because of that. Well, I haven't gotten into it, but I loved watching it.
I like watching it live. I
Yeah.
don't really
Yeah.
like
I
watching
was
it on
really
TV.
entertained.
I can't watch it on the TV because I don't know if I'm blind, but I just can't see the puck.
Oh, those
Yeah.
camera operators aren't
I'm like,
fast enough.
God damn.
Yeah.
Maybe I need
You're getting older
better
too.
TV.
Remember?
I do. I actually got prescribed glasses. I just never wear them. I probably should.
Bad for you.
Is it really?
Your
Is it
eyes
my
will
headaches?
get worse faster.
What?
Woo. That explains a lot.
That's
And headaches.
insane.
Yeah, I get bad headaches sometimes. And when I'm driving, these guys get scared.
Oh yeah.
They don't let me
dude.
drive at night.
Oh my god. Yeah, this guy
Okay,
drives
that's
so
They don't let me
obvious.
drive at night.
Yeah, nah.
Swerves
Swerves all over, man. He gets too close to cars, and we tell him like, "Rudy, stop! You're tailing." And he's like, "No, we're not. We're fine." And we're like, "No, dude."
You know what? That one was kind of close.
Wow. Well, hopefully you don't get into a car accident because
my insurance gonna
Man.
get this and be like, should have
we
worn
saw your
glasses.
podcast and
Those insurance companies will dig through every little detail to not pay. They could probably find something on this podcast and not pay for something.
probably.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'll do it. But I say we wrap it up, boys. It was a good little time. Time just flew
Yeah.
by. Over an hour on that.
Yeah,
but
thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've like I said, I've always wanted to do podcast things and
I don't even feel like I feel like we can still keep going, but just getting late.
yeah.
We all got responsibilities. But no, I appreciate you coming out,
Yeah,
Tristan, and definitely the next time around. Might have Josh here next time too if he's down.
We should do it.
Okay.